me if this sounds familiar. A young barista, barely 23 years old, has been working at this coffee shop for almost 2 years now. Hasn't seen a single job promotion or a raise or anything like that, and the benefits suck, and she's quite frankly about ready to quit, when 3 armed men walk into the room. They point guns in the barista's face and demand all the money. She tries to give all of it to, save her own life, but there isn't that much. It was a slow day, there isn't that much at the counter. They think she's holding out on them, and they try to fire at her. Luckily, a costume-wearing superhero shows up just in the nick of time to save the day and beats up all the bad guys, and everyone goes home happy and learning some kind of lesson. Except there's one difference in, the story I'm telling today is that one of those bullets got through him. And by through, I mean just in between his arms, making a stupid hero pose. And then, of course, it landed right in the barista's chest, right where her heart would be. Now, if this was pretty much any other person's situation, the barista would probably die within a few minutes, unable to be saved, but she was lucky today, as she happened to awaken her Nova powers, which made the bullet harmlessly bounce off her. Well, a bit bruised, but what are you gonna say? Oh, wait, you haven't heard this story. That was your life a few minutes ago, wasn't it? Yeah, I was also at the coffee shop. Hey, I wasn't following you. I learned all about your life just by looking you up on the internet on the way here. And yes, I followed you all the way from you running, panicking downtown, into the woods, and to this area. Which, by the way, what kind of panicking pattern was that? Like, if you're trying to run from people, whatever. Anyway, so, yes, you have powers. In case that wasn't obvious at this point. Because if I have to hear you mumbling to yourself, what am I, I'm going to slam your head through a wall. Seriously. You live in a world filled with costume superheroes, and that thought didn't cross your mind doing all of that. I mean, really. Anyway, so I just thought I'd be the first to formally welcome you to the world of the Novas. Oh, you don't know what a Nova is? You live here. They've been around your entire life. Why are you this ignorant? Is the school system really that bad? Wasn't there like a Novas 101 class? Like a superheroes and you? I don't know, okay, let's take it from the top, shall we? Anyway, back during the 90s, as all things have pointing of modern society tend to start here, instead of something like Y2K, there was the Galaga incident. The Galaga was a massive space station holding a bunch of toxic chemicals, because that was a good idea. Whole bunch of toxic chemicals up in the orbit, that went in badly. Anyway, for one reason or another, some suspect sabotage, others suspect a solar flare, and some people say divine might. This space station went kabooey. And when it exploded, it spread all those toxic chemicals across the Earth, blanketing the Earth for quite a while in toxic chemicals, which, by the way, are still out in the atmosphere. They haven't fixed that yet. Note that for later. Anyway, and literally just a few days later, a firefighter was on his way to work, trying to save people from a burning house. There was a little boy, he was about to die, and the firefighter ran in bravely and saved the kid, unburned by the fire that, should have killed him. He was the first designated Nova, although I would not be surprised if there was more that we don't know about yet. Anyway, so a Nova is, a person with superpowers, and after him, they have been getting increasingly common. At first, it was only a handful, easy to keep track of. Then there were hundreds and thousands. And sure, Project Utopia, they're the big fancy guys with the sign. Also the sign that was in this building when you ran into it. Just saying. Anyway, they have been trying to keep a number on these guys. They failed. They notoriously lowball the numbers. And they don't like to talk about the supers that don't work for them, because that doesn't help the image much. But anyway, shortly after that, a global depression hit. I'm not sure if that's connected or not, but it could be. Depressions are hard to track, really. Anyway, it caused the collapse and a loss of society. But who should come but Project Utopia, leading most of the new Novas to help rebuild the world as they saw fit. They brought grassland to deserts and cleaned up the ozone layer and fixed up whole ice caps, and everything was la-dee-da. Until, things weren't, but, you don't need to know about that. Forget about that. Anyway, so, yes, in case you didn't notice, you are one of these individuals, like I've been trying to spell out for you this whole time. And as such, you now have certain responsibilities. And by responsibilities, I mean nothing. You owe nothing to anyone. And don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Whatever you do past this point is your choice to make. Of course, you will be scrutinized for this choice. Some will say you aren't responsible enough. Others say you're an aberrant to society and should be destroyed. Others will, of course, say that you should be freed from your humanity to do whatever you want. And all these people will say you must do this. Let me tell you, that's your choice. You have been granted incredible powers, and to do anything, whatever you decide to do is your choice. And I'm not here to sway your decisions any more than simply laying out the facts do. Anyway, I just thought, in this moment, seeing a poor person who's never quite grasped their own reality, I thought I'd give you a leg up, teach you about this world a little bit. I'm gonna pop in and out here and there, tell you bits and pieces, and, help you understand your world. Also, just a slight warning, I don't want to get caught by Project Utopia right now, and you're in one of the train buildings like I mentioned. Yeah, these are free for the public, but they're notorious for trying to recruit new members with flowery words. So, and also, they don't like me very much. So, I'm just going to do you a favor and leave right now before the cameras find out. Anyway, I'll see you again when you're more adjusted to your new life. See you then. Yeah? Hey, why don't you hit that sub button? You're gonna become a subscriber. Get to see my content quicker. Wouldn't that be nice? I bet so.